Krishnamurti, how old were you when you first heard about the theosophists' plans for you?
Must have been about 10, I don't remember exactly.
You don't remember how it felt at the time?
No, not at all.
Did you really believe that you were the chosen
may
one?
I tell you something? When they found us, we were a very poor family and all the rest of it, Brahmins. And I'm afraid I can't tell you with direct memory because I don't remember it actually. I'm not pretending, I'm just stating facts. I believe when they found us, we were very weak. And one of the principal people who found us said, he's going to be the great teacher and so on, so on, so on. They formed an organization around me. I was the head of it, and thousands of members, money, all the business of it.
They didn't use any drugs or hypnosis or anything like that?
Goodness sake, no. They are not that kind of people. They were very, very serious. They weren't charlatans. They weren't using a good old gimmick or trick to exploit people. They really, please believe me, sincerely believed what they were doing. It wasn't just a hoax. It wasn't to exploit people. They staked all their reputation, all their work, everything on this boy. So there was no question of drugs or hypnosis or suggestions made. They said, this boy is going to be used by the great teacher in whom they believed absolutely.
And why did they believe this? Why did they believe that you had been chosen?
Because they were clairvoyant.
They really were?
Probably they were. At the time they discovered the boy, they certainly must have been. Because they said, this boy is going to be the great teacher. His body will be used. It's not a question of your belief. No. I'm just telling you what they sincerely, honestly, and deeply believed. They believed because they said, this happens every 2,000 or whatever years. A great teacher appears on earth when the world is in chaos. And he will give new kind of teachings and so on. That's their fundamental, radical belief.
They had some sort of occult instructions?
Yes, instructions, which they believed and they followed it.
And you did too, of course, at first. But when did you first have doubts about the pattern they'd done for you?
You see, I never had doubts. Forgive me using that word. You see, the boy must have been very vague and not all there, if I can put it that way. I think he must have been a very dreamy boy. And so whatever they said didn't deeply penetrate. You see, they had been looking for a number of years from what people have told me, for a boy. They had already brought an American boy to India, I believe, and moment they saw me, they dropped him because they said, this is the boy we've been looking for. For 2 years, they watched over this boy and his brother, gave him right kind of food and all that, brought him to Europe, educated him. Nothing penetrated deeply. Only and they had built a tremendous organization around this boy. It wasn't just for money, for exploitation or anything, but please, you have to be convinced they really believed what they were doing. So when this boy began to talk, he said organizations are not the way to truth, and dissolved it.
You just, out of the blue, decided that you didn't want to have anything more to do with this particular program, as it were?
No, with any religious organization. Mm-hmm. Because it then becomes another sect, another division in the religious structure of man, and so that's all wrong. To divide people into Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, and all the rest of it seems so absurd.
This is a strange thing that you should have come to this conclusion. You must have studied a great deal.
No, I haven't. If I may again say simply and very honestly, I don't read any philosophy, any religious books. I read weekly news magazine. and occasionally a detective story. But otherwise, I'm not a reader.
It must have been a great blow to the Theosophical Society because it claimed this occult authority, and also to those who expected the coming of the world teacher. Well, did the society close down then?
On the contrary, it's going on.
It's still going on?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And when you dissolved the Order of the Star of the East, you didn't wish to set up a rival cult, obviously.
God, I didn't want to
have anything to do with it.
With any cult.
But you still believe that you have a lot to teach.
I don't believe, I do it.
Oh, well, what is the purpose of your mission to Australia?
First of all, they have asked me
Yes.
to go there. And I don't go unless invited because I have no money. I don't possess, I don't want to, go into all that kind of thing. So when they asked me, they've been asking me for several years to go.
And you'll be giving talks there?
Probably, discussions, talks.
People will undoubtedly come to you with some of their problems to discuss with you. Do you welcome that sort of thing?
I don't welcome or not welcome. If they want to see me, they'll see me. If they don't, they don't. I don't want to impress anybody. I want to be really totally anonymous. It is the personal cult and all that rubbish.
Of course, this is going to be a rather impertinent question, I'm afraid.
Please,
but Australians of my generation may associate you with that amphitheatre that Theosophists built at Balmoral, from which believers who'd bought seats could witness the second coming. At least that's what the paper said. Is that what actually happened?
I believe so.
That was after your time, though, was it?
I don't remember exactly. There was I think it must have been around 25, 26 or 27. I don't remember exactly. They started something of that kind. But when I dissolved all that kind of thing, they said, Lord.
Of course, that helped to rather discredit the society, I should have
No,
thought.
you see, sir, you must keep the two things clear. The society was one thing and the Order of the Star was in the other. The society believed in brotherhood and all that kind of stuff, and the Order of the Star expressly believed that they would follow what the teacher would say. So when that was dissolved, the Theosophical Society went on. You want an autobiography?
My practice is given to everyone will have given one.
What's that?
I think it would complete the whole account if you gave some brief account.
Yeah.
Then we would all be doing the same thing.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to talk to you, sir. My brother and I were found by Dr. Besant. We were Brahmin boys, what Brahmins were. About 100 years ago, they were very traditional, very orthodox, tremendously religious in the orthodox sense. And Dr. Besant and others said, that boy who's the older, which was myself, they said, that boy is going to be a great world teacher. At that age, there were 9 of us probably. And they formed a tremendous organization around me. I was the head of it. Members all over the world, hundreds of thousands, with a great deal of property, money. And in 1925, I said, this is all wrong. It'll be another racket. And I dissolved it. Returned the property, returned the money, everything. I'll tell you something. It's personal, but it doesn't matter. I was born in India. And I was adopted by people and made head of a tremendous organization as a boy. Understand? About your age, 15, 14, less than that. And They said I was a great teacher, I was going to be. So people began to worship the person, you understand? Put candles round him, garlands, we have no idea anything. So the boy could have built an image about himself, couldn't he? You understand what I'm saying? And if that image was attacked, he would be hurt, wouldn't he? Huh? Are you following all this? So, he never had an image. Never. They said he was a great teacher, he was a Messiah, he was, etc. I have no idea what it was all like. Tremendous.
What's the secret that this boy doesn't have an image? And other boy maybe doesn't.
Look at this guy. What is the secret? He didn't have it. There is no secret. He saw, he didn't have it.
Why other boy might have the image?
Why do you have it? Because you're too much involved in images and other people. He was vague, he was slightly vacant, he was looking at the blue sky most of the time and the trees and the birds. He was by himself a great deal. Don't ask why. That's not the reason. Just see what happens. I brought that in because you can live without an image. The image is not the fact. You follow? The fact is a state of mind in which there is no image. So if you can look at it all, not be so terribly attached to your wish, I must have long hair, short hair, I must, all the stupid stuff that one goes through. We're always talking about long hair and short hair, aren't we? Yeah? What a waste of time. You know what it's to be pliable? Have you ever watched a river? You have? How it goes over a rock? How it moves there? It moves, huh? Never caught in a corner, in a little pool, moving. And if you don't at this age keep on moving, you follow? You're going to be caught in a little pool of your own making. And that's not river. That's dirty water. Image isn't merely a picture about yourself. A conclusion is an image. You understand a conclusion? A conclusion that I am something. I must be something. That's a conclusion.